Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be reviewing, talking about, and swatching the Huda Beauty Neon palettes. So let's just jump right in, but before I begin, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I upload videos every Tuesday, sometimes on the weekend, but every Tuesday. So let's talk neon. If you haven't seen or heard of these palettes, these are the latest palettes that Huda Beauty launched, and there are 3 of them: the neon green, neon orange, and neon pink. And when I first heard about this, I got super excited. I thought, wow, finally a bigger brand is coming out with some interesting colors. But then the inside was revealed. Just gonna have a minute of silence real quick. Where's the green? This is the Neon Greens palette. Where's the green? I see one green. That is that one right there. That's it. There's one green in this palette. This one, I guess, maybe. The shimmer, I don't really want to count the shimmer. I'm counting the mattes. There's one green. One green. The neon orange is my favorite out of the 3. I think it's the most well-rounded palette. Again, it's not exactly an orange palette. There's 3 oranges. That's more than the one green, at least. But there's also yellow, pink, and purple, and then a shimmery yellow-green, a shimmery deep orange, and a shimmery orange. So this one to me seems more well-rounded. It's got colors that will complement the orange really well, and the orange is the essence of the palette. So I think these other pops of color are here just to complement the orange. And I think this one, good job, Huda. And then the pink, it's more like a purple palette. It's half pink, half purple. It's got 3 pinks, 2 matte purples, and then the rest are 2 shimmery pinks and 2 shimmery purples. So I feel like this one is very half and half. They could have called this neon purple and it would have, been the same. I did, however, use these 3 colors in my eyes, and they go on a lot brighter than they seem. So this one, when I look at it, I don't really think neon pink, but when I'm actually using it, it works. I think the colors do appear really, really bright. I've got it on my eyes here. If you stick to the end, you'll get to see how I did this whole face. So be sure to stay till the very end for the tutorial. Now, why did a company like this go and launch some palettes that say neon on them, but they aren't really neon? First of all, actual neon, like UV pigments, aren't FDA approved in the United States. They are approved in other countries. I know that they're approved in Europe for use in cosmetics, but in the United States, they are not approved. And so I think this was their way around that. I think they made colors that are almost neon, but if you were to compare these to an actual UV pigment, they wouldn't even come close. I unfortunately don't have any UV pigments that I could compare it to, but I do have the Huda Beauty Hydroliners, which are actually UV reactive. And when you compare them to the palette, you'll see that the colors in the palette are definitely not what you would call UV or neon. But I honestly do think it was an FDA issue. I know that Huda is not based out of the United States, but I do believe that one of their main target audiences is the United States. And so they wanted to do something that would be FDA compliant. So when you look at the colors, they're not what you would imagine them to be, but they do perform pretty well. As you can see, I did this entire look using just the eyeshadows from these 3 palettes and the Huda Beauty liners for the little details, but it reads as neon. With that being said, I am really disappointed in the green palette. I think this is a really pretty palette. I think the colors are really, really pretty. You'll see in the swatches, these are really pretty eyeshadows that I'm sure I'm going to use in other situations. They just are not neon. Even the neon green by itself doesn't really pack a punch. I had to layer these 2 to get this color here, but none of the other colors in the palette are even remotely neon. And so that's just really confusing to me. I don't think you should call your palette neon if you're going to have one kind of neon color and then one that brightens that color up a bit. I do, however, liked how these shadows performed, and I think because they're not exactly UV pigments, they blend really well like a normal eyeshadow would. And if you've used UV pigments before, you'll know that they can sometimes apply really patchy, they don't really blend well, and that's not the case with these eyeshadows. These retain the consistency of a regular eyeshadow, which I think is super, super important, especially when it's a big brand like this that's marketing to the masses. Usually people that buy UV pigments, they're aware of the issues that come with using a UV pigment. They're not going to be as smooth as using regular eyeshadows, but people buying these palettes aren't necessarily going to know that because Huda is reaching a much broader audience. So they're reaching people who have never used UV pigments in their life. And so I think that's another reason why they opted to not go for a truly UV pigment, so that they would have a better formula that would blend better and would feel like a more traditional eyeshadow. I'm actually happy about that. I'm actually happy that they created a product that is more user-friendly because UV pigments can be really hard to work with. So I'm happy about that. I think the orange palette, if I had to choose one, I would choose this one. In here you get orange, you get pink, and you also get this color, which is basically the same as the shimmery color in the green palette. And that's another thing that I've seen people talking about, is that these two colors are very, very similar. So that was a missed opportunity to add a different color to the collection. But if I had to choose one palette, I'd go for orange. If you really like pink and purple, I think this is a good palette. The colors in it are definitely pretty. They're definitely bright. So if you are leaning more towards pink and purple, then this is also a very good choice. As for the green, I wouldn't recommend this palette if you're looking for anything neon. I would recommend this palette if you're looking for something pretty. I think the colors in here are really pretty and you can use them for a variety of looks. I definitely want to create a look using these shimmery shades here because they are very unique. They've got like a duochrome shift. But as for neon, this ain't it. This ain't it. Each one of these palettes retails for $29, which I don't think is that bad. You get 9 eyeshadows in it. In the first review and swatch video that I did, I reviewed the NYX and Aquaria palette. That palette had 10 shadows for $25. So I think this is not bad at all, especially when you compare it to other palettes like that. It's obviously not cheap, but I also think it's pretty fairly priced. Maybe wait for Sephora to have a sale or something so you can pick this up. I'm really curious to use the other colors and create other looks, and I probably will in the future, but today I wanted to use as many colors as I could from the 3 palettes because I was only going to do one look using the 3 palettes. And right now I'm about to go to a pride party. That's why I kind of went crazy with the color. I know this isn't super wearable, but I thought I'd try to use as many colors as possible and do something fun, because otherwise what's the point really? So now I'm going to swatch the 3 palettes for you so you can see what I'm talking about, and then after that stay tuned for the tutorial. So the way I'm doing my swatches is just using my fingers, and I do one swipe and show you what that's like, and then I go in with a second swipe to really build up the color and intensity. I like doing more than one swipe because realistically on the eye you're going to pack the product on more than once. You're not just going to do a light layer and leave it at that. Unless you're obviously using it as a transition shade, but that's not my point. I digress. The mattes don't really swatch well, but they perform really, really well, like surprisingly well. I thought they weren't going to be that great, and I thought they were going to have a lot of fallout because of the swatches. While I was swatching, they really felt like pigments. They felt messy, they felt a bit chunky at times, and they weren't the best eyeshadows to swatch because they're quite firm and tightly packed eyeshadows. But they performed beautifully, so don't let swatches fool you. As for the shimmers, they performed really well in the swatches. Oh, and I should probably note that the pinks definitely stain your skin. They stained my eyelids. I had pink eyelids the next day. Using actual makeup remover rather than wipes does help, but there's still a bit of a stain left. My green one arrived broken, unfortunately. Wah, wah. But I was able to press the eyeshadow back in with a palette knife, and then it was all good. The shimmers do have a softer formula, so that's why I think it broke. But because of that, I was also able to repress the shadow back into the pan. I gotta say that this green palette was the one I had the hardest trouble swatching. You could see from the first color, I had to do 3 swipes to get it to the opacity that it is, and that's barely there, I think. I also had certain difficulty swatching the bright green. The 5th underneath color is more tightly packed and is more translucent. It's more like a topper, so it is definitely harder to swatch. And this matte pink, you can see that I'm really digging into it and it's barely showing up. I don't know how it performs, but it did not swatch well. And that is all 3 palettes, and now I'm gonna move on to the tutorial. So as you can see, I've already done this eye, and I kind of wanted to do something different on this eye, but for the sake of the tutorial, I'll keep it the same on both. I kind of went a little crazy, but I'm gonna probably go even crazier. This is just the beginning, and I wanted to show you how I got here, and then I can add on to the look once both eyes are done. So I'm gonna start with a white concealer. I wanna get these eyeshadows to pop as much as humanly possible. So to give them a decent shot of doing that, I'm starting off with a white base. And even if you have darker skin, I would recommend doing this. If not white, then as pale as you can go. With neons, they kind of just need that extra boost. Like, that's just the reality of them. And especially because some of these aren't that neon. So we definitely want to help them out. And I didn't do white under my eye. I just did my normal concealer. But I will go in with a second layer. I did a second layer on the left eye as well. I'm going to start off with this color from the pink palette on my lid. And I had started this eye with no foundation because I was really scared of fallout. But turns out I didn't get any fallout, so I'm just going straight in. And I'm placing that all over my lid. I'm going to leave the inner corner blank and the outer portion of my eye blank as well. But I am going to bring that upwards a little bit. I'm just going to blend it outwards. Then I'm going to go in with this color from the pink palette and apply that right on my eyebrow. And this one was a lot more pigmented than I thought it would be. It's a lot kind of darker than I thought it would be. So I just placed it and then blended it out with this lighter pink. I'm going to apply that directly on top. And this one is quite bright as well, more than I thought it would be. And I'm just cleaning off that brush so that I can just lightly blend the color out. So I want to get a really nice and gradual fade. I'm going to add a bit more. Ooh, that was a lot. I'm going to add some more on this side to make them equal. Then from the orange palette, I'm going to be taking this purple. And I'm going to apply that to the outer portion of my eye. And all these mattes don't really swatch well, but you can see that they pack a punch. They are very, very pigmented. So what I like to do is I like to just pat them on and kind of place them where I want them. And then just very slowly blend them out. I feel like I need a little bit more pink here. So I'm going to leave this unblended for now. Then I'm going to go in with this darker orange here. And I'm going to go right close to my lower lash line. And this one comes out a lot darker than I thought it would. But I also didn't put white underneath my eyes. So if I had put white, it probably would appear a little bit brighter. But that's not a problem. I'm going to take this orange right here to help blend it out. So I'm just going kind of on top and along the edge. And then I'm going to take the lightest orange of all and apply that over everything. And then I'm going to take this yellow on a little fluffy brush and I'm going to go around the edges. Taking the lightest orange on this brush. I don't like the shape this is creating here, so I'm adding more to this side. Now for the inner corner, I'm going to be taking the only green in the green palette. And I'm going to pack it on. And this one, I feel like it definitely needs the white base to really stand out. I mean, here it is kind of neon, but you can tell this is much brighter than this. I'm going to try packing some on with this brush to see if it helps at all. Yeah, I think the more you pack as well, the brighter they appear. And then I topped this with this color right here. And I really had to wet my brush, but I'm going to show you what it looks like without wetting the brush. So I'm just going in straight with this color. And you don't get anything, any payoff whatsoever. I feel like these really are a topper, and in most cases they probably will need to be used wet. I'm just taking my Smashbox Photo Finish Crystal Clarity Primer Water, and I'm just spraying my brush a little bit. And then after I spray, I'm dipping into the color. And then there we go. Now we see it on my inner corner. I'm also bringing it down to the bottom part of this inner corner. And you see once it's wet, then you can actually really see the color and it's fine. And since we're here and I'm using this color, I wanted to compare this one to this one in the lower corner here, which everyone is saying is pretty much the same color. And honestly, they are. But the one in the green palette, it's slightly more green toned. The one in the orange palette is a little bit yellower, and the one in the green palette is this top one, but they're practically the same color. So, missed opportunity there, I think. Now I'm going to take the light green on a fluffy brush, and I'm going to apply it where I would apply a highlight. And I'm kind of just going to pat it down. And you'll see that it behaves kind of weirdly, but this is normal of most UV products. I don't know if this is considered oxidizing because I don't think it has anything to do with coming in contact with oxygen. That's what oxidizing means. But you can definitely see that darker outer rim. But this is kind of normal for UV products. If you've never worked with them before, then this might catch you a little bit off guard. But this is something that I can kind of expect with products like these. But the more you pack on, the brighter it becomes. And you can blend it out slowly so that you kind of get rid of that darker ring around it. And then keep packing it and concentrating it right here at the highest point of my cheekbone. Then I'll come back and pack some more once I've done the rest of the cheek. So now I'm gonna go back in with the orange palette and I'm gonna use this pink right here. And I'm gonna start it back here and bring it down towards my cheek. I'm applying it above where I would contour, kind of like an 80s blush placement, but I'm concentrating it on the back part of my cheek and then slowly fading it onto the apple of my cheek. Then I'm going to take that dark purple on the same brush and just blend out this eyeshadow and kind of bring it over and around the green highlight. So I'm just blending that outer portion of my eye in with the cheek area. Then taking some more of the green and fixing it up. And I'm going to take it on that small pencil brush so I can really pack it on where I want it the brightest. Now I think I'm going to try to go in with the lightest purple from the pink palette, and I'm going to use that to contour my nose. Just applying it like I would a regular contour. Trying to use as many colors as I can since I'm only doing one look with the 3 palettes. And even if none of you replicate this look, at least you can see what the colors look like and how they perform. Now I'm going to take the slightly darker purple on that same brush and I'm going to contour under my nose. Ooh, that's bright. That looks almost exactly like the one I used on my eye. I'm going to lightly dust that onto my nostrils just because I always think it looks better if my nostrils have a little something on them when I'm doing this type of contouring. And I think I'm actually going to take this lightest pink and go around my nostril. And if it's a little too much, you can always blend it away with your beauty blender. Just wanted a touch of it. Kind of want to take this light orange right here and apply it on my temples. Maybe go in with the middle one, the lightest orange. Yeah, there we go. I think I'm also going to take that lightest orange and apply it right on the apples of my cheeks and onto the very tip of my nose. That way I can kind of tie everything in together. If I have one color that's going on the outside of my face and in the center of my face, kind of helps to marry everything together because this is a very crazy look using a ton of colors. So having something that just kind of unifies everything and adds a little bit of structure to the chaos, it's a good thing to have. Then I'm also going to take that light orange color, apply it to my chin, and the pink that I used on my cheeks under my chin. I'm going to take this lightest pink and just very gently blend it upwards and outwards. I kind of want to add that color right under my nose, again, to just kind of unify everything. I decided I'm going to intensify my cheeks a little bit on this outer portion, because I want everything to kind of have the same intensity. I can't have the eyes being super bright and then the cheeks being just like, eh. They all have to be the same intensity so that they can balance each other out and it looks more harmonious. Now I'm going to do a bit of shading around my lips, and I think I'm going to go in with the pink that I used on my lids. I'm going to shade the outer corners of my lips. I think I'm going to go in to this pink just to brighten it up a little bit more. I'm going to go under my lips. And then I'm going to take the green and apply it to my Cupid's bow. I'm going to go with this bright orange to blend out the pink. I'm going to take that under my lips as well. This looks kind of crazy right now. I definitely know that I look like I have snot coming out of my nose, but it will make sense soon. I think I'm going to take the brush that I used for this color here and just kind of do a defined contour of my chin. And I'm intensifying the pink around my lips. I feel like if you let the eyeshadows sit for a bit and then you pack some more product on, that's when it works the best and you get a better payoff. I'm not sure why that is, but it's what I've kind of noticed throughout this whole thing. Kind of want to add the shimmery green to my Cupid's bow as well. Not exactly to my Cupid's bow because I am going to be overdrawing my lips, so I'm just applying it to these two little arches. I don't know what they're called, but you know what I mean. And I think I might as well apply it to my cheekbones. Looks like it's kind of lifting up what's underneath, which is weird. Yeah, I think the brush has to be pretty wet for the shimmer to actually stick to the skin and not lift up what's underneath. If it's just a little bit wet, it can lift up, but the brush is pretty wet. I think it does a decent job. I will say though, this is a pretty finicky shimmery color. I want to add shimmer to the tip of my nose. So I'm going to go in, I think, with this shimmery orange. Just add that to the very tip of my nose. That's kind of cute. And then I'm going to add this bottom one from the green palette right to the bridge of my nose. It's interesting because it looks pink in the palette, but it's actually like a green iridescence. It's so weird. And then I want to add this light pink to my chin. That's pretty cute. Now to finish up the eyes, I'm going to go in with the ColourPop Creme Gel Liner in the color Crossed. Hopefully it's got a good payoff. I haven't used this yet. Yeah, that's pretty neon, all right. Okay, that's a really cool liner. I think for my bottom lashes, I'm going to go in with the NYX Colored Mascara in the color Perfect Pear. It's a really neon green. And if I hate it, I'll put black mascara over it, but I just want to try this out because I think it matches the eyeliner really well. And so that could be cool, but we'll see. Oh yeah, I think this is going to look cool. But I am going to need more than one layer of it for sure. Okay, I've done 3 or 4 layers of the mascara and it looks crazy. I think it looks so cool. But I think I'm going to do liner and normal lashes on the top. I was thinking about using the Quick Flick. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. Should I try it and risk ruining my makeup? I don't know. Let's do it in the spirit of trying things. So the Quick Flick, if you don't know what it is, it's a stamp on one side that has the little flick. And then the other side, it's like a normal eyeliner. So let's try this out. All right, it's not as big as I wanted it. That's what she said. Let's see. And I don't think I'm gonna do liner on my entire eye. Just like doing liner to the outer half, and you can see how much that changes the shape of my eyes. And I might extend this guy a little bit, or just thicken it actually. I actually really like the pen side of this. It looks super thick, but you're able to draw super thin lines with it, and gotta say, I like the result. I did change the shape up and I extended it a little bit, but I think it's a nice base for you to use as a guide. Now I'm gonna load on some of the Milk Makeup Kush Waterproof Mascara onto my top lashes. Now to finish off the eyes, I'm going to pop on some Rouge and Rogue lashes in the style Cosmic Kitten off camera, and I'll be back to do the lips. Okay, now the lashes are on and I'm gonna do my lips. I really wanted to do like a bright neon lip, but I couldn't find anything that really fit with what's going on here. And I've seen a lot of neon looks that have a black lip and I've never done that. And I think they look really cool. So I think that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna go in with the Black Moon Cosmetics Sleepwalker. This is the blackest black lipstick I've ever seen in my life. So if you're looking for a good black lipstick, this is your guy. I remember the first time I used this was in a fashion show and I was like, oh my god. It is seriously black. And as I said, I'm going to overdraw my lips. I'm going to take it on a tiny lip brush so that I can be really precise with the shape. Now that I've got the lipstick on, I kind of wanted to do some little freckles. I've got these neon liners from Suva Beauty, but as you can see, they are very, very neon. So I'm afraid that if I do freckles, they'll kind of outshine everything else that I've got going on. I think I am going to do a few little freckles with the Suva Beauty Hydra Liner in the color Dance Party. It's their neon yellow. I think yellow's the only color that I don't have on here, so I think it'll look pretty cool. And I'm going to start in a spot that, like, if I hate it, I can wipe it off and pretend it never happened. Oh, that's pretty cute. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do some freckles. Just using a little liner brush. I feel like I should be going to Cyberdog in London right now. If you don't know what Cyberdog is, it's a really cool shop. I actually vlogged in it years ago in my London vlog. I'm gonna link it up here if you guys want to watch it. I think I'm also gonna do some little freckles right here. I think what would look pretty cool is if I did a double liner with this over the black one, but I don't think this brush is thin enough for me to do that. Ooh, I'm tempted, but I don't think I have a thin enough brush. Okay, I'm taking a flat angled brush and I'm gonna try to do it. I'm kind of tracing the black liner. I'm trying to not get too much product on my brush so it's not too wet. Okay, that looks pretty cool. Just like a subtle little detail when I close my eyes. I'm not going to bring it all the way to the front because I didn't bring my black liner all the way to the front. So I'm going to keep it like that, but I'm going to wait for this to dry and go in with a second layer so that it pops a little bit more. So that's the liner done, and that's made me want to add a little bit of kind of like a liner to around my lips, and I'm going to go in with the color Acid Trip. This is the bright orange, and I'm going to take that. Just do little corners. Then I'm going to take the color Scrunchy, which is this bright pink. I'm going to do the same, but on my bottom lip. Okay, now that the lips are done, I'm just going to finish getting ready, and that's it. And this is the look done. I was going to go for a wig, but I decided not to. I thought that my hair looked pretty cool, if I do say so myself. So I decided to leave it as is. And yeah, let me know what you thought of this look. I kind of really like it. It's a little circusy, it's a little crazy, it's a little club kid, it's a little mishmash of a lot of things, but I think it came out pretty cool. And that's it. I really hope you enjoyed that tutorial. I hope you enjoyed the swatches. Let me know if you want to see me do more looks with these palettes. I would love to play around with these even more because there's a lot of colors that I didn't even use. So just let me know down below what you thought. Have you tried these palettes out? What did you think? What do you think of the color story in them? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so please let me know down below. I'm already running late, so I really gotta go. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all my patrons who support me, and I'll see you next time. Bye. And that's it. I gotta go.